Fox News national security and foreign affairs analyst, Walid Phares. Good to have you here, sir. What's your reaction to this news today?
Well, this was expected and projected that the president is going to do something about Iran. And it's really about Iran behavior. It's not just about the agreement. The bottom line of the issue, Trish, is that the Obama administration entered an agreement whereby Iran will be given a lot of money, cash. In return, Iran will behave in a direction that would stop the aggression in the region, including building nuclear weapons. What has happened is that Iran froze the one element. I'm not building nuclear weapons now, but I'm buying all the goodies, long-range missiles, tanks, anti-aircraft I'm deploying in the region. This is what concerns the national security of the United States.
Understandably. I mean, if you sign on to the agreement, right, and you say, we're not going to do these things, and yet you go out and do them, then why should we participate in the agreement?
It was a mistake. It was a previous administration made a mistake, and we've seen it in history whereby previous governments do those kind of mistakes. It will become more difficult for the current administration to change it. But once the threat from Iran...
I can think of one mistake, Walid. North Korea.
Yes, another mistake from the 90s. This one, basically, the president of the United States have a larger alliance that didn't exist in the 90s or in the past 8 years. He met with 50 Arab and Muslim leaders in Riyadh. Remember that? We discussed it. So it is really a pressure coming from them and, of course, from our traditional ally, Israel. Well, and not all Europeans are against this position. If you ask some in Eastern Europe, they're with the American position.
Walid, the fact that they chant death to Israel, and he brought that up in his speech today.
That's right.
I mean, that in and of itself, if Israel is our ally, how do we stand by and allow ourselves to have this deal with a country that wants to see them wiped out?
I mean, you are absolutely right, Trish, because the agreement says Iran will have to cease the build-up of nuclear weapons. The leaders of that nation, of that government or regime, are buying long-range missiles and stating publicly this is to destroy Israel. But it's not just Israel. They are threatening the UAE and Saudi and, of course, occupying Iraq and Syria, working with Hezbollah in Lebanon, and all the way to Yemen. This behavior, I would think the Europeans should be the first ones to complain about it, to go to the Security Council, of course. But we are now.
They're closer in proximity, so they have a little more to lose. But, there's kind of this attitude, and we've seen it with previous administrations here in the U.S., where you kind of just let live, right? And there's this sort of isolationist, we'll just bury ourselves in our own issues back here at home and forget about, if we're just nice to everybody, if we're just friends with everybody and stay out of their business, then maybe the world will be a better place. We have learned, Walid, that has not worked.
Remember World War II, World War I. It all began with a trust. Remember Munich? But what is important here is beyond this political psychology that you mentioned, you have also the many companies, many financial interests. They think by linking up with the Iranian market, they're going to make quick money, and they don't care about the national security interest.
And that's a mistake, and we see it actually, Walid. I'm glad you brought it up over and over and over again. I mean, you even look at some of these social media companies, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Twitter, and allowing these terrorists to communicate and meet on these social media platforms. I say, wait a second, you're an American company. Who's your allegiance to? Show a little respect for our national security issues as opposed to just caring about the bottom line.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm glad that now the president, the administration, will send the package to Congress. I have been attending so many hearings and briefings in the older days, a few years ago, and they were all saying, no, the administration should not conclude such an agreement. Now is the time for them to vote again.
All right. Walid, thank you. It's good to see you.